That's good running. Very good running. Did tell you that Kevin Lewis is a good runner. Good judge and also quick.
Yeah, no, as soon as he hit it as well, he had a chance. It's a big boundary out there, probably the biggest boundary on the ground. As soon as he hit it. So he wants to face as many balls as he can.
Just a single this time.
Remember Jimmy Adams, who was West Indies captain, who was coach at Kent, talking about red stripe cricket back in the 80s being as tough a cricket as he'd ever played. To be fair.
Did he tell you that I dropped him as well? Yeah, that was tough cricket. Shell Shield before the Red Stripe Cup. Shell used to sponsor the tournament then the Red Stripe took over.
Let's talk about a packed Sabina Park for Jamaica versus Barbados. You running into Barbados. He said he kept you at times as well, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Jimmy as a young man did almost everything. Kept wickets, batted, bowled spin, did everything. Seen quite a few flags, Caribbean flags, throughout this one-day series. Trinidad there, Jamaica, Barbados. Saw Grenada earlier on. Also a Kittian flag I saw at one of the games. That should be out. No. Found an empty spot. Gets a single, 7 runs from the over. 183 for 4.
क्रैक स्क्रीन से क्रैक करो डील।
देखो कब से ट्रीट मांग रहा है सुशील। कैशबैक बाय ट्रीट। ये क्या है फिर? ये तो हो गया ना भैया, और तो चलेगी। छोटी से छोटी दुकान या बड़े से बड़ा मॉल, पेटीएम मॉल हैज इट ऑल। तो अब शॉपिंग के लिए भी
पेटीएम करो।
व्हाइट
They're not officially part of the Caribbean. West cricket playing Caribbean, that is.
Played cricket out in Bermuda. That was the best trip I've ever had, I think. England under 17s out to Bermuda. Get any better than that.
Beautiful island. Ah, St. Vincent, the Vincentians.
Of the bat. Hits it. Look at that. No real flourish or anything. Real controlled shot. Just a little step forward. Waits in a good position. That is a really good shot. What about bowlers bowling then? What do you make of restrictions for young bowlers, stuff like that?
I agree totally with the restrictions about the amount of bowling that young bowlers do. I had a coach at my school, Kingston College in Jamaica, that forbid my captain to bowl me more than 5 overs in a spell. And one day he was leaving. He had family in Bermuda. He was going to Bermuda on some business, and he told the captain that if he ever came back and heard that he had bowled me in a spell longer than 5 overs, that would be the end of his captaincy. I was about 17 years old at the time, perhaps 16 or 17. I don't quite remember what year it was. Looking for 2, not on though. And I'll tell you, Rob, at that age I wasn't really quick. And yet he told him no more than 5 overs in a spell.
So at what point did you become quick, and why?
I don't think anyone would consider me to be really quick until I got to about 20 or 21. And I played for Jamaica. I remember trying to bowl quick because I was in competition with Newton Dow. I was trying to show everyone I was as quick as Newton Dow. I couldn't bowl as quick as him. Not my first year anyway. That's gone pretty fine. Is it going? Yes, it's gone. And that's 3 figures by Evan Lewis, and what an innings. Fantastic knock.
Yeah, one of the best knocks of the summer. So much control, under pressure. When he started, he weathered the storm early, especially from Woakes, and then he's never struggled to score. That's been the key. He's never looked reckless, just complete control all the way through. No more so than the shot that took him to 100. A slower ball he just has all the time, just feeds it round into the leg side. Brilliant 100. Sort of innings where you just think someone's going to kick on, and finds his 50 over for.
That's 4 more. 13 runs from the over. A good one for the West Indies. 196 for 4.
Well, it might have been unorthodox, but it's a single that does it for him.
And one would hope that you not just see a lot more of him in this short form of the game, but also in whites.
Yeah, the type of player you just see, you think we've found a gem, and you just give them as much opportunity as you can, and you think you'll get a return on that investment, even if it doesn't come straight away. In Test match cricket, at some stage you'd have to say you're going to get a good return, and that's what you get with younger players when you give them a go.
Jake Ball continues into his 7th over now.
Talking about how when you found your pace, I'm fascinated to know what the moment was when you just realised that you could bowl quick.
Well, it was just That year I decided I wanted to compete with Newton Dow for pace, because Newton Dow was playing for the West Indies. I had just gotten into the Jamaica team, and all the talk was Newton Dow, and he really had some pace. Actually sent him to Barbados to be coached by Wes Hall, and he was certainly a very promising fast bowler. And being team with Newton Dow, I thought to myself, let me see if I can bowl fast as well, instead of just running up and trying to bowl some nice outswingers. And it came easy trying to bowl fast, and things just developed from there.
You didn't really think about anything else, just run up and try and fling it down there as quick as you could.
Almost.
I remember Darren Gough talking about Richie Richardson telling that to him, just to run up and just try and bowl fast. Sometimes I think bowlers get so complicated in their actions and what they need to do. Some bowlers just run up, try and bowl fast, and something just clicks. Almost like, in a way, you simplify the game.
If you have an action that pretty much repeats itself, it's pretty easy to do that. Just run up and try and bowl fast. But as we know, some fast bowlers, their actions vary from delivery to delivery. Not huge variations, but just slightly different from one delivery to the other. So it's a bit more difficult for them to just smoothly run in and bowl fast.
Bairstow does extremely well again. The wicketkeeper is a serious outfielder.
Well, we've seen him with a bat in his hand, very quick between the wickets. He's been brilliant patrolling the boundary across the course of this series. Very fast outfield, reached him very quickly.
In action again. It is a fast outfield, but also when you're fielding now square of the wicket here at the Oval, you're fielding on the square. It goes from one side of the ground to the other. It always used to be an enormous square, but they've extended it because they lost the nets at the Vauxhall end. So the ball travels to you so quickly across the ground. They used to have something like about 22 pitches which they could play first-class cricket on. I think that's down to about 14 or so now because of the development. It's all to do with the size of the boundaries. Boundaries are big enough, but in the past they were enormous. Several instances of people running 5. They struggle to do that now. 207 for 4.
हाँ बेबी ब्लैक शर्ट ही लिया मीडियम ही लिया भाई तुम्हारे लिए लार्ज थोड़ी लूंगा सॉरी सर इसमें मीडियम नहीं है
जब एकदम से हो जाए what the bad luck
सर पेटीएम मॉल ऐप है हाँ
Don't worry sir सामान पहुंच जाएगा घर
छोटी से छोटी दुकान या बड़े से बड़ा मॉल पेटीएम मॉल हैज इट ऑल तो अब शॉपिंग के लिए भी
पेटीएम करो
A white is a white is a white. Fog scent makes even an ordinary white shirt fashionable. Fog scent. New fashion wear for men.
3 of them, 3 for 33 West Indies work. Lewis has played beautifully for 109. Holder's with him at the moment. Going okay, 207 for 4. Quite as many bowling options available to Owen Morgan today with the absence of Ben Stokes. Tried to sneak in and over at Joe Root, and he was probably hoping for 2 or 3 just to give himself a little bit of leeway. Didn't quite work out.
Yeah, got hit for a couple of boundaries. Joe Root had to change it up pretty quickly, Owen Morgan.
A lot to think about in the last 24 or so hours. He's the one-day captain. Not ideal coming into this game, which if England win, they will win the series. Shot down the ground from Holder. Tall man hitting it at the top of the bounce, just short of a maximum. It's gone for 4.
Long levers. Jason Holder, not afraid to go over the top. Taking advantage of that man up. Where they're going at the moment, they're looking at a 300 plus score, set the platform, Lewis and Mohammed. And if that's the case, then even more to think about for Owen Morgan. Light of runs of late.
Hasn't had a meaningful score with the bat personally, Jason Holder, but he's shown a touch of class. Plenty of starts in the one-dayers and a few runs in the test. It looks a fairly simple technique. Quick single, Root hits the stumps, but I think Holder's long legs have got him there.
Yeah, comfortably in. Quick to the ball was Root. Still enough time for Holder to get down the other end. He set off very early.
Oh, just short. 212 for 4.
क्या? गिरा क्या? जीता? अरे वाह, टैक्स कटा,
सोना बढ़ा,
सुपर मचा,
ही मीना लग गई।
बस करो।
डेली हंट, 15 करोड़ इंडियंस के न्यूज का डेली डोज। Download now.
Talk also about potential curfews coming in. Do you have a curfew in the England women's team when you were playing? Do they have now?
They don't now. We did in the past. 10:45, would you believe, was our curfew when I played. Imagine the England boys having to adhere to that.
But did that work? Did it feel a bit oppressive? Feel like you were being talked down to?
I personally hated it. I felt like we weren't being treated as adults and given that responsibility. Of course, the England women's team, I guess, over the years has had a number of youngsters in the team. When I first played, I was 17, and I've got an 18-year-old going to Australia. And Sophie Eccleston. A few 17 and 18-year-olds over the years. Holly Colvin, of course, made her debut at the age of 14 or 15. So you can kind of understand the reason why it was employed, but I think it was the right thing to get rid of it. As adults, you are expected to take that responsibility, and I think when Andrew Strauss and Trevor Bayliss look at everything that's happened over the last few days, I don't think that will be the solution.
Top edge, Cry catch it, Adil Rashid, but it might go all the way. Oh, he's fallen over the rope. Lost his footing. I don't think he would have been able to have reached the catch or even been able to flip it back inside the boundary.
Well, England have persisted with the shorter deliveries, slightly bigger ground than Bristol. And although he's been out a couple of times in this series to the short ball, still able to get it over the rope.
Well, that's a strong shot down the ground. No hint of an edge there. That's a huge hit from Lewis.
Well, this is where Evan Lewis can have a bit of fun now. He's done all the hard work. Slow ball, waited for it well. Lovely flourish of the bat down the ground.
That nearly went back into the England dressing room, or certainly the England balcony. Some statement there from Lewis as he moves to 121. Frustration coming out from Liam Plunkett. Did well to just take a breath and hold on to the ball. 6 of the over top edge. That was straight out of the screws. Lovely natural way of hitting the ball, Evan Lewis. Shot for none to finish the 40th, 2-5 for 4.